Hazelnut or Belgian chocolate. Oh, it's beautiful. Welcome to my humble abode. This is the first time I've ever been tent stoving, stove tent, camping, whatever you want to call it. And it's just all really new to me. And I'm trying to get used to like the smells of the burning of the stove and the radiant heat that's coming out to me, and the fact that I'm inside a tent and I've got fire. It just seems so wrong, but it seems so right at the same time. You know when you're at home and you've got the gas fire on because it's a bit chilly and a bit cold, and somebody opens the door and inevitably somebody shouts, "Shut the door, you're letting all the heat out." I've got my door wide open And if I didn't have my door wide open, it would be like a burning inferno in here. I'm not sure how well this comes out on camera, but my stovepipe is glowing red hot. We've got a few firsts today. This is the first time I've ever used a wood stove inside a tent. It's the first time I've used that wood stove. I'll talk about it a bit more in a minute. And it's the first time I've taken this Nature Hike Massive 2 tent out in the wild. Apologies to you good people out there. You've already been hot tent camping. You know what the experience is like. I'm a hot tent virgin, so everything is new to me. And I'm learning as I go along. One of my first lessons was, don't touch the metal. Because I burnt my finger. You kind of forget. I know it sounds stupid and that's a fire, but you think the heat's going that way. It's all over. But what's not hot are these bits on the side. These are perfectly cool. I was surprised about that. Of course, I did the test with my digit and I started at the edge and I went, oh, is it hot? Is it hot? Is it hot? No, it's absolutely fine. It must be a bloke thing. I managed to put the tent up okay with no issues. And now I'm trying to do a bit of management, I guess, fire management. To keep a nice bed of hot coals in there and to keep the fire going, but not have so much excess that it's flaming all over the place. I guess it's something to get used to. The other thing I'm trying to get used to is space management. I've got my logs there, kindle in there, gradually feeding bits on the fire. Got my lunch in the middle, and my tea, and my bedding. That's absolutely fine. But when you look where this tent stove actually is, how can I demonstrate this? I get my chair in. There we are. It takes up ever such a lot of space in the vegetable. I think part of that is because it's got these two sides, which are brilliant, great for holding stuff. So what I might do at some point is just pop the sides off of one, or oh, hang on, fold him up for now. I don't know. You might see these up, down, all over the place. I'll just be experimenting around. Okay, I've discovered something else. This here, for the flap, is cool. Don't ask me how I found that out. You can probably guess. As an experience so far, this has been absolutely brilliant. So before I get my tea on, I've got an old speckled hen. It's a gluten-free one. These are so expensive. It's just so relaxing here by the side of the fire. If you watched my channel before, you'll know that I can't do gluten. It makes me ill, basically. So it's nice to find products that I can actually have. And one of them is gluten-free speckled hen. Good job, speckled hen. If you ever want to sponsor one of my videos, send me a few crates. I must say the tent stove from Silver Ant Outdoors is absolutely brilliant. I've also got one of their 2-litre pots, and this is pretty cool as well. It's got a nice bell handle. I've got my tea in it. Some of this filming is going to be a bit rough and ready, I'm afraid. I'm just winging it in my confined space. I've got some sausage, bacon, chorizo. I've got a load of vegetables. And a beef stock cube. The beef stock cube is from Aldi. I've never tried it before. It's also gluten free. Only discovered that today. I threw all this in the pot at home just to save time. I've worked out the temperature control on this stove. At the front, low heat. At the back, high heat. Stir him up a bit. Let's take that off, I don't need it for a minute. One of the things I'm really enjoying about tent stoving is the fact that I haven't got that tent dampness, if that makes any sense. You know, when you're in a tent and the sun goes down, you get to the evening and it all cools down, you start getting condensation everywhere. No, I haven't got any of that. I'm just so happy. This is what I'm happy about. Let's get my vegetable medley in. Oh God, no. I dropped the bag in there then. I didn't want melting plastic in there. I was expecting to crumble this stock cube, but it's a bit of a brick. Just break it up a bit. I had to buy the kindling and logs on the campsite. They don't like you using your own. In fact, they don't allow you to bring your own. I kind of get it. If you think people are going to bring along, if you think people are going to bring along all kinds of rubbish to burn, and you don't know what's going to come up into the environment, I totally get that. However, having said that, if I do run out, instead of buying more, I've got a load of logs in the car. They are dried, so they're not going to create a lot of smoke. When I arrived here, I thought this campsite was really peaceful. There seems to be like cow sheds over the back and they're mooing. I don't know what they're doing to those cows. I don't know if they're milking them or whatever. Don't know if you can hear them. I was sort of expecting there to be some sort of odour or some sort of whiff of smoke inside the tent, but there isn't any at all. I guess that's because of the draft that gets created by the fire. It sucks everything through and up through the chimney. Let's have a look at him. Oh, the carrots cooked beautifully. I did bring along a plate to put it on, but what I think I'll do, let's just put it on the side, let it cool down a bit, and save on the washing up. I popped outside just now, and it's really cold. You kind of lose the sense of how chilly it is outside when you've got the stove on. Let's try a bit of tea. Bacon and spinach in there. Absolutely spot on. It's been a wonderful experience so far. And the heat coming off the fire, it's brilliant. from what I've done so far coming out on this first adventure, it's a really enjoyable experience. Of course, it's not windy, it's not raining. I didn't even put the guy lines out on the tent because there's no wind at all, but it is quite chilly outside. It's supposed to get down to freezing tonight. But this is hotter than what I've got at home. It's amazing. The campsite I'm at is a little bit different. It's got buses and other things people can stay in actually on the site, and I think there's people that live here for a few months at a time as well, which I didn't expect that when I came here. I thought it was just going to be a field. I was chatting to the lady on reception when I got here, and she said that since COVID and the country's in a bit of a mess, shall we say, people are spending a lot more time here. They'll turn up in a camper van and they'll stay for quite a long time rather than just on holiday. They've just got nowhere to live, which I think is quite sad. I guess it's just a sign of the times. I count myself very lucky that I've got a permanent roof over my head at home. I've got hot food in my belly and a big sausage. My tea was absolutely lovely, but I just can't eat anymore, it's too late. I need to save some room for pudding. Chocolate hazelnut or Belgian chocolate? That is the question. I'll go for chocolate hazelnut. Bought these from Aldi, and yes, they're gluten free. So thank you, Aldi. It's a bit like Nutella, but a bit creamier. I put an extra log on the fire just now, and then I was thinking to myself, it's 10 to 9, so I'm thinking to myself, that's got to be the last log now, so I want that to pretty much burn out before I go to bed. I'm going to finish this, then I'll get some more alcohol out. I've got something really nice. I kind of overestimated what I was going to eat and drink. Just opening this door a bit, because it's so hot in here. I've gone all posh today. I've got a glass. I brought along some whiskey. It's just a little bit in a bottle. I thought it'd be nice to finish off the day with a little drink. This isn't everything. I've got a bit more, making myself a whiskey cocktail. So I've also got some Glaver. Is it Glaver? Glaver. It's very much like Drambuie. That's the problem when you do this sort of stuff. It's like, where do you put everything? I'm just going to put the cap on my knee. So I'm going to put some of that in there. Bit of a nightcap. Got to be up early in the morning, so I'm not going to drink too much. This is quite sweet. Gosh, you spilled that down myself then. I always used to have lemonade in whiskies if I needed lemonade. But now I'm into sparkling water. It's a bit healthier. I've cut down on my sugar massively. I've got what you call it as a cocktail. Whiskey and Drambuie. I've just looked it up. A cocktail made with whiskey and Drambuie. It's called a rusty nail. I've made myself a rusty nail, which typically combines Scotch whisky and drambuie in a ratio that can vary from 1:1 to 2:1. Not sure I got that one right. I think that's another important thing to mention. Having a drink with a stove, it's doable, but you don't want to get to the stage where you have too many drinks and you start falling over that, because it's not going to end well. Let me share my sleeping arrangements with you. I've got my cot. That's made by Nature Hike, I think, or One Tigress. I've also got a sleeping mat. That's just a snug pack, self-inflating mat. On top of that, I've got British Army sleeping bag, and I've got the inner on the inside. So I've got the full kit. There's no way I'm going to be cold tonight. I've also got an inflatable pillow. I'm not sure it's the right pillow for me. I don't think it goes big enough once I blow it up. I looked at the price of pillows recently for this sort of thing. And they're really, really expensive. So I don't know what the best option is, to be honest. That's okay. But it sounds like you're sleeping on crisp packets every time you move. Something else I forgot to mention. I brought my slippers along as well. So I'm nice and comfortable in front of the fire. I'm going to finish my drink now and enjoy the last of the heat out of the fire. The weather forecast was right. It certainly got down to below freezing last night. It's a beautiful morning. In the middle of a field. I didn't sleep very well at all last night. That is because probably can't see it in the distance. I'll get a bit closer. You might be able to hear it. Cows. It's been cows all night. They must be in for the winter. And they've just been mooing and screaming and doing what cows do. I didn't realise that cows make so much noise. They don't even sleep. They're up in those factory units over there, if you can see them. I plan on shooting off as quickly as possible, but I'll give you a brief overview first on my experience of tent stove camping. Firstly, my sleep system. Cot's a brilliant idea. That worked well for me. I had some matting underneath as well. Some rubber matting. That's just to protect the floor of my tent. This self-inflating mat, I don't think I'd go with that again. He's a bit too uncomfortable. I'll go with my air mat next time. Add a bit of comfort. British Army sleeping system. Absolutely awesome. I had no issues at all. I was lovely and toasty last night. And because the temperature got down so low, I really needed that. As for the tent stove, he was an absolute winner. He's burnt everything down to pretty much nothing. Did I need a protective mat underneath? I don't know, but I brought it with me anyway, just in case. It was something new to try. So would I go hot tent camping again? Of course I would. It's loads of fun. There's something really heartwarming and really nice about having the heat inside the tent. It's just a joyous experience. It just lifts your spirits. Whilst my fingers have still got some life in them and they haven't quite frozen, I need to pack all this away. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.